I know I'm late to the party when it comes to this subject, but I still wanted to get this video out there anyway, because this is still honestly huge news. So, with that being said, hello everyone, welcome back to another episode on this massive Call of Duty franchise. Now, keep this in mind, I have not said Activision is failing the Call of Duty franchise, even though they still are. But keep in mind, I didn't really say that for the start of this video. Surprisingly, this is the one and only positive thing I think I can genuinely say about this massive crisis unfolding with Call of Duty. So, for those of you who weren't aware, let me catch you up to speed real quick. Microsoft has been planning to buy out Activision Blizzard for quite some time with the massive acquisition deal that's been going on for quite some time now. And of course, the deal had to go throughout the entire world, like all the way throughout China, all the way out through the UK, and all the way even here in the US as well. And of course, the FTC and Microsoft do have to go through some complicated business work and paperwork. Now, I'm not really a businessman, so I won't get too much into that stuff, but I will say they are making some massive progress with this acquisition. And I believe the only hurdle they have left is going through the UK. I could be wrong about that, but I digress. I digress. But the main point of this video is now there have been reports that the older titles like Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3 are finally getting server updates. Now you're probably wondering, well, Nightwing, Black Ops 2 is already safe. Just play Plutonium, or Modern Warfare 3 is safe. Just play on the Plutonium mod on PC. Well, no, I'm not talking about like the PC modded servers. I'm talking about like the OG titles back on like the Xbox 360, back on like the PS3, and people were just absolutely surprised and happy about this happening. And I can take a wild guess that part of this reason has to be because Microsoft is buying out Activision Blizzard. And Microsoft decided to step in and try to update the security servers as well for the older titles. And the whole main reasoning for this is because of Microsoft plans to put the older Call of Duty titles on the Xbox Game Pass. So you could play like the original COD 4 Modern Warfare. You could play Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, World at War, Black Ops 2, you name it. Once this deal goes through completely, Microsoft is going to flip the switch and put all those games on the Xbox Game Pass. So let's just say if you have an Xbox Series S or S, like the next gen Xbox console, and you have the Xbox Game Pass, eventually at some point when the deal between the acquisition for Microsoft and Activision acquisition goes through, eventually Microsoft will be putting those games on the Xbox Game Pass, so people who have the Xbox Game Pass subscription can play those games, which is phenomenal because again, these are Call of Duty games that everybody loves, for especially still to this day. Like people still play Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3. People still play some of these older titles decades later. Some dedicated fans in the Call of Duty community have tried to preserve these titles through modded servers that are more secure and safe, like Plutonium, for example. And now Microsoft finally doing the right thing, and they're pretty much doing something Activision can't do, and they're pretty much updating the security servers for the older titles. It's phenomenal good news, and it's something that we desperately needed. So, you're telling me that Microsoft, that is acquiring Activision Blizzard, you're telling me that Activision had decades to fix the security servers, and they literally just decided to do nothing with it, and they just abandoned these games. But when it comes to Microsoft, you're telling me it's taking them only just a few days to update the security servers? It just goes to show, once again, just how little Activision just doesn't care about the Call of Duty franchise and how little they don't care about their older titles. And it just goes to show how much they don't care about preserving those games. And I believe I said this a few times in the past, but I'm going to say it again. I still believe that game preservation is a big deal in the gaming industry. And the fact that Microsoft is going through with this and they're going to eventually put these older games on the Game Pass for Xbox, and the fact that they're updating those security servers is amazing to me. Now, there is an article I do want to read to you all that kind of summarizes this a little more. This article does come from GameSpot.com. I'm going to read it to you all, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on this after. Players have recently flocked to the older Call of Duty games on Xbox 360, including Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2. Despite these games being over a decade old, the communities are still thriving thanks to a recent change to the matchmaking. On July 12th, players reported that the matchmaking, which previously disabled users from joining matches, was suddenly fixed. Players then shared videos of them finally joining matches across older Call of Duty games. Prior to the fixes, these older games were practically unplayable online due to the matchmaking issues, that being hackers and modders, which I'll get to in a second. According to Charlie Intel, Black Ops 2 has over 10,000 players on Xbox 360 this weekend. Following the matchmaking fixes, likewise, Modern Warfare 3 has over 7,000 active players on Xbox 360. While these numbers might not sound like much, it's noteworthy considering the age of the platform, that being how old Xbox 360 and the PS3 were, and there are still people playing this game. But anyway, let's continue. Call of Duty streamers Modern Warzone also claimed that there were more people playing older Call of Duty games on Xbox 360 rather than Halo Infinite and Battlefield 2042 combined. But it is unclear what the specific player counts are across each game. Now, obviously, there's a lot to talk about here, but I'm going to try to break this down as best as I can. But the first thing is first, the security issues. I mean, if you were to load up your Xbox 360 or PS3 in like ages and you try to play a game of Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 3, you would pretty much have the worst time. The game would be so unsafe to play, it would pretty much ruin your experience because you'll run into nothing but hackers, cheaters, or modders that would end up crashing your game, or that would end up just destroying your console entirely, or end up just ruining your experience overall, honestly. And it's just not safe to play, especially in the newer Call of Duty titles. But the fact that Microsoft is fixing these issues and Activision isn't, it just proves that this Call of Duty is in much better care when Microsoft is around. Because Activision, they just pretty much abandon all hope in their older titles. They don't give a damn, but Microsoft does, because like I said earlier in the video, Microsoft is going to get these games ready for Xbox Game Pass when they eventually acquire Activision Blizzard. But the next biggest one I want to break down is the amount of players. Just 10,000 players, that is a lot of players in like these older titles. 7,000 players in like the older Call of Duties like Modern Warfare 3, that's still a lot too. But 10,000 players in Black Ops 2 is still a lot as well. But compare that to like today's modern gaming standards, that's not really a lot, but in reality, 10,000 people or 7,000 people playing these games, that is a lot of players playing this game. And that is a lot of people, especially in the older titles, because these are still dedicated fans that still want to play these games, and these are dedicated people that love playing these older titles. Unlike the newer Call of Duties that we have now, they're just so mediocre and piss poor at best. Like, people have pretty much just abandoned ship at this point with their newer titles. But going back to like Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3, those games were riddled with content, and still people enjoy some of the older things. Like, people enjoy the pick 10 system for your classes. People enjoy getting the pro perks for your classes, like Sleight of Hand Pro, for example, where you get to reload faster or aim down your gun faster. Like, some those are some of the older things that people like, and it's great to see Microsoft do something that Activision couldn't do. But as of now, we're just going to have to continue to wait and see how this plays out. And of course, I will continue to keep you all updated. So with that being said, thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, I'm talking about the latest Call of Duty news, and I'll see you all later.